How's it going, guys? So I get asked a lot just about the camera equipment that I use, what I recommend for someone starting out with getting into YouTube and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to give you just my camera recommendations. I'm going to let you know what equipment that I use, and based on my experiences through doing YouTube for a while here, what would I recommend for somebody who's just kind of getting into it? So my camera that I use is a Panasonic LUMIX DMC FT2 is the code. It's a shock-proof, waterproof, basically bomb-proof camera that I bought when I was in Australia. I bought it secondhand off of a friend, and I think this camera retails. I think it's like $300-400 or something like that. It retails for. So it's actually quite an expensive camera for a simple point-and-shoot camera. But I did get it at a very, very cheap price. So it served me incredibly well. I used it mainly during my last bike tour through Southeast Asia, and it was absolutely fantastic. The video quality was so much better than using a GoPro camera, which is the camera that I used the first time I went through Southeast Asia and when I was going through Australia. So I definitely recommend, a simple point-and-shoot camera, something that's a little bit waterproof or shock-proof if you're gonna think about doing a lot of traveling with it, because I have actually had this camera hit the ground really, really hard. I was riding down this big hill in Chiang Mai. I was probably going about 40-50 kilometers per hour going down this hill, and I was gonna pull the camera out, and I hit this big bump, and it bounced. I have this little pouch on the top of my bike where I store stuff, and it bounced out of there, and it hit the ground going at about 40-50 kilometers per hour. And as you can tell, I'm still using it, and it still records fine. So for travel, if you're gonna do kind of more like travel stuff, you can invest in the good DSLR kind of stuff, DSLR cameras, but having this kind of, very robust little camera is really nice because it's small, it's light, it's just kind of easy to handle. It fits in your luggage very easily. If you drop it, it's not a big deal, that kind of stuff. So Panasonic LUMIX DMC FT2 is the camera code. Something else what I just mentioned is I mentioned that I used to use a GoPro. So I used to use a GoPro HD Hero 2. This camera here, it's got one main purpose, and it's to capture action footage. I tried using this as more of like a vlog style camera, and I'd get the external microphone that I'd pop in the side there, and it's all right. It's all right. I wouldn't really recommend this if you want to do a vlog style video. The benefits of this is that it can go underwater. It can, it's robust as well. The fisheye look can kind of be really annoying because say you want to film something very far away. It's got no zoom feature, right? There's no zoom in the camera. It's just, you just go, right? And you can mount it. You can mount it to your bike or to your body in many different ways. So in that regard, it's kind of a cool camera, but it's mainly just for like action footage. If you want to just get action footage, that's what the GoPro HD Hero 2 or 3, that's what it's good for. But other than that, I think it's a pretty subpar camera. It's really made just for action footage. So if you're thinking about doing some travel vlogs on a GoPro, I'd recommend using that. Something else that I just actually purchased for a camera, let me turn it on here. So we got camera 1, and then we got camera 2. Camera 1, camera 2, camera 1, camera 2. So this is another camera that I just purchased. As you can see, it's a Kodak Play or Touch Play or something like that. I paid $80 for it on eBay, and you can look at the video quality difference. So I'm just holding that in my hand. So that's video quality camera 2, camera 1. So this is an $80 video camera. This is about a $400 video camera. So you can see the difference. Definitely in a low light kind of area that we're in right now. This one much crisper, just much better video quality rather than this one here. It's not that good. The benefits of this one here is that it actually has a microphone jack on the top, and which is really nice because what I can do is I can take my external microphone, my corded microphone, plug it right into the camera rather than using this this digital voice recorder that I use to record the audio. So I can plug it right into the camera, and with that, what happens is that the basic audio quality, the good audio quality is recorded straight into the camera memory on this video camera. So that's what I really like about it. The other thing about this one that I really like, this is when you get more into editing, is that it records in an MP4 file format. Now this Panasonic LUMIX right here, camera 1, it records in an MTS file. Now what that is it's this weird file format that that I think is just specific to Panasonic cameras, and it's really annoying because my the editing software, I'll tell you about that in a second, does not recognize the MTS format as a format that it can edit. So what I have to do when I record a video on the Panasonic LUMIX, I have to go on my Mac, I have to convert it to an MP4 or a .mov file before I can actually edit it. And that's just really, really annoying. So it's just one extra step that I have to do. And then using this one as well, because it doesn't have a built-in mic input, is that I have to record the audio on the digital voice recorder, and then I have to sync it. The syncing is not really that hard. It's not really that hard using a program like ScreenFlow, but it's just one extra thing that I have to do. And sometimes the sequencing, basically the timing of the audio and the video, get a little bit off, so I have to make little adjustments every 3 or 4 minutes on the audio and video clips. It's not a huge deal, but it's just one less thing. So the Kodak Play one, I really dislike the video quality of this one, but it's a cheap camera, and yeah, it's just really, really cheap. So I think, yeah, $80 to buy. It does record in high def, but the quality is not, it's just not that good compared to this one, compared to the Panasonic LUMIX. So this is another option. So this is something, you know, a cheap option that you can get for yourself. Now something else, one other option that you can do is you can use a laptop. So this is made famous by Durian Rider. So this is camera 3 now. So I'm on camera 3, camera 1, we had camera 2, camera 3. So this is just recording off the webcam off my MacBook. If you're going to be using your laptop like this, what I'd highly recommend is to get an external microphone, a USB external microphone that you can just plug into it. Because I'll pull up the audio quality for the MacBook so you can hear the audio quality of this. Not very good. So I definitely recommend if you want to do YouTube videos using your MacBook, I would recommend highly to get an external microphone because it'll just sound so much better. So that's camera 3. That's another option as well. I used to use my MacBook as well. It's really actually quite handy because everything just records right on the MacBook, or if you have any other type of laptop or whatever, and then you can just directly put the file into the editing software, and it's just really quick and convenient. That's why Harley can put out so many videos. You can just put out so many videos so quickly because he just records everything on the Mac. He just puts it into editing software, which is really quick and simple, right? So coming back to this camera, what would I recommend? I guess it depends on how much money you want to spend. If you're looking at spending a lot of money, obviously look into getting a DSLR camera. When you're looking at getting a DSLR camera, make sure it has a mic input. So a mic input where you can input an audio jack for either some type of microphone, right? Whether it's one that mounts on the actual camera itself or a wireless mic or whatever, mic input is really key. You also want to look at the file format that it records in, because if it records in some weird MTS file like this Panasonic does, the audio or the editing software that you might use might not recognize it, and then it just creates more annoying conversions that you have to do with file formatting. So would I recommend this Panasonic LUMIX to most people for YouTube? Probably not, just because of the file format that it uses. It's just really annoying because the software that I use with ScreenFlow, it just doesn't recognize it. So maybe with programs like Final Cut Pro 10 or something like that, it might recognize it, or even with iMovie, it might recognize it. But that's something that you want to look into. What file format am I going to be able to use this? What file format does it record with? and consequently, you know, will it work with the editing software that I use? All right, so we'll talk about editing software now. So I use a program called ScreenFlow. It is primarily a program that is used for screen capture. It's not necessarily a video editing software, but it's actually a very powerful video editor. And I really enjoy using this software. It's drag and drop, really, really simple. Only downfall with the program is that it does cost $100 if you want to buy it legally. There are ways of getting it torrents, but if you don't want to go that route, it is a $100 program, so it is a little expensive, right, for an editing software program. Using iMovie is like trying to, it's such a terrible program. Coming from using iMovie to using ScreenFlow, I'm just like I'll never ever use iMovie for the rest of my life. It's nice for beginners or whatever, right? If you just kind of get into it, it's just kind of nice. But if you want to do some cool editing, ScreenFlow or iMovies is absolutely brutal. It's terrible. It's not good at all. I can't stand it. But so I'd recommend if you have PC, because ScreenFlow is specifically for the Mac. If you have PC, you want to look at a program like CAMTASIA. CAMTASIA would be a similar program for PC. I've never used any of the more kind of professional video editing software programs like Adobe Premiere, even though I have it, or Final Cut Pro 10. I've never actually used those programs, so that's something that you just want to look into yourself if you want to use those types of programs. Something else that I want to talk about, so we've talked about cameras, we'll quickly talk about audio quality as well. So like I said earlier, I use this little external condenser microphone, this little guy right here, so it definitely records much better audio. I've done a video specifically on it, so I'll have a link to that video in the description box below. And then I use this digital voice recorder here, and then I just basically boom, take this. It's got the little USB stick thing right in there, and I stick it in my laptop and upload the audio into the video software that I use, video editing software that I use. Something else that I just want to quickly talk about. So we'll pull up camera 2 again, and with camera 2, I'll show you. So with camera 2, so you can see here, I'm using a tripod. Using this little tripod. It goes to a full size. It's just at the smallest size right now. So I paid about $30 when I was in Thailand for this tripod. It's really nice to have a tripod. Really, really nice to have a tripod. Especially when you're doing videos like this. I'm just sitting on the ground here, and I can get the tripod and have this specific sturdy mount for the camera. It's really, really nice. So I recommend definitely investing in a tripod. It's just it just makes things a lot easier, a lot easier. And something else, here's another tripod right here. Here's another tripod right here. So this is the Gorilla tripod. You can just buy like no name, like there's actually like real Gorilla ones or whatever that you can get on eBay or in stores or whatever. But yeah, I just bought this when I was in Australia for I think $20 or $30 or something. And this is really nice. This is really nice for traveling. Super nice for traveling because it's small. You can just pop it on something, and you can you can wrap it around stuff. It's very convenient. It's a really kind of cool little tripod, and this is nice. I like to travel with this, and it's great. It's great. I absolutely rate this little tripod. Just search for it on, it's like GORILLAPOD or something like that. I'll put the actual name right there. And then something else with this tripod here is carrying case. Having a carrying case is pretty cool. Pretty cool. Makes it easy to travel around with. I can just throw this on my back if I want to ride around, and I can just go easily move around with my tripod, which is really, really handy. So what do I recommend? If you got the cash, you got $500, $700 to spend, look at getting a decent entry-level DSLR camera that records in either an MP4.mov format, which will be an easier format for you to edit, because chances are you won't need to use a video converting software on top of that to convert it into a video file that you'll actually be able to edit properly. I use ScreenFlow, highly recommend it. A lot of people say good things about Final Cut Pro 10. Along with the camera, so look at make sure it has a mic input. So mic input is really kind of crucial because it just saves you from having to buy an external digital voice recorder or something like that. You can just record audio directly onto the camera, which is really nice. Just one less step in the video editing software. So if you don't have that much cash, what would I say? I would say use what you have and improve the audio quality to the best of your ability. Use what you have. So if you want to use a laptop and you want to use the MacBook or whatever, use it, but look at improving the audio quality because the audio quality is a lot more important. I've got one good video on audio quality, and then I've got one good video on just how to do a YouTube channel, how to start a YouTube channel. So this is basically just, I guess it's how to do a YouTube channel as well, but it's just focused on the products that you need. So if I were to start over again, and what I'm actually looking at getting is getting an entry-level DSLR camera. Doesn't need to be too fancy. I would get a macro lens as well because I really like the macro look, and I would ensure that it records in MP4 or a .mov format onto the memory card, and then I would also make sure it has a mic input. Those are the biggest things for me for YouTube. You know, I'm not too concerned with like it's got to have like this shutter and whatever shutter speed, or like for me it just doesn't. I'm not into professional photography or professional videography, so it's not going to make a huge difference. But if you're like a camera nerd or whatever, then obviously look into something like that. But that's the advice that I'd give. So definitely get a tripod. Tripod is so key, and definitely look at improving the audio quality. It's just gonna make things a lot better. So those are my recommendations. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the box below, and we'll catch you next video. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Have a great day. Peace out.